Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Happy Friday, January 26th. I know a lot of you are ready for the weekend, as I am, but more importantly, the games are coming up. The championship weekend, the AFC, the NFC. We got a lot to talk about. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, and Brock Purdy. Before we go into that, let me welcome our co-host to the show, the guy we love, the guy who knows all the stats that I don't know, the founder of My NAL Pay, face for radio, my below average wet guy, Brent Chapman. Welcome back to the show, baby.
Raise the roof.
And the clock
Brandon, I am counting this morning. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons undone on your shirt. I'm wondering how many buttons I could undo on my shirt before people started vomiting.
You know, Brett, you know what's funny? This morning I woke up and I'm like, why the hell am I wearing all this shit? I keep watching people on TV and outside
I've got him self-conscious. He's buttoning his shirt now.
How am I looking now? Better?
Better,
no, you know what
better,
it is?
better.
I'll tell you this is God's honest truth.
Four buttons is definitely Miami. 3 buttons is New York City.
One
button
I like
is
that.
Dallas, Texas.
What's that shirt say?
Oh, this is just my son's youth football team, Sabres
All right,
football.
cool. All right, well, check this out. I woke up today, and in the last couple of days, actually, and I'm seeing all of these broadcasts, and yeah, ESPN, FS1, they have a little button-ups. But you watch Pat McAfee, he's got on like a wife beater and a black T-shirt. I'm going, I think Brent really has the idea, the concept down, coming on here, talking in a T-shirt. Might have to switch it up.
Yeah, that's
Look,
right.
Let's dive into this. Brent, give a strong power hour in your defense. Maybe a little early today. So let's dive into the Chiefs, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Listen, Patrick Mahomes, I am more excited about this game than any games. And even last week, I really wanted to see the Bills get to the Super Bowl as well. But this game right here primarily is very, very interesting, Brent, for a lot of reasons. Because Patrick Mahomes is a game changer. He gets it done. He scrambles. He makes plays that you're seeing right here. He gets outside the pocket, and he's a guy who's a leader. He shows nothing but emotion. He puts it on his back just like a lot of those quarterbacks do. And if you're watching these clips, look how he operates. Gets back, sets up, fires, first down. Travis Kelce throughout the year obviously got better as well. Taylor Swift in the background maybe slowed him down a little bit, but bang, he's back at it. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Pacheco, they're ready to go. They're also bringing another receiver from the Steelers. They have other players are moving around to make it better on the offensive side of the ball. Now, I love what I'm watching with Lamar Jackson, but I will tell you this. Right up front, I'm taking the Chiefs. Why? Because I just feel, like I said yesterday, you put him up against the wall, Patrick Mahomes finds ways to win football games. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson doesn't have all this skill set, the speed, the ability, but Patrick Mahomes finds ways to win football games, Brent.
Yeah, like I've said, I've always been on Lamar Jackson's side from day one. I've been the biggest Lamar Jackson supporter in the league.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right, dude. Well, actually, you know what? I think you liked him, but because you really wanted your Bills guy to get the MVP, I think it rubs you the wrong way, and you're like, I don't know. But I think Lamar Jackson has proven a lot.
Lamar Jackson is a great athlete, and I've just been incredibly skeptical, and I said this weeks ago, that his MO is, he gets into the play, gets hurt at the end of the year, he doesn't perform in the playoffs, but dude, he's a great player. I mean, you can't deny. I mean, it's like back in the day trying to hate on Mike Vick. I mean, Mike Vick was a great player. There was weaknesses in his game, just like there is in Lamar. But, I believe in the stats. And there's facts around this that I'm pulling on. Fact number 1 is the Ravens are the first team that finished on both offense and defense rankings in the last 30 years, right? So they're a hell of a team, all right? And they're a very good team, and that's going to be difficult to beat. Point 2, the Chiefs have not had their best year, period, right? They've had their ups and downs. They have their moments where they don't show up. 3, and I think I may have made this stat yesterday, or at least I told you offline, which is the team that loses to Josh Allen has never won the following game.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So that's, but I mean, Patrick Mahomes is Superman and he always seems to win. It's like watching a Superman movie and going, I wonder if Lex Luthor is going to win this time.
Yeah.
Or the Mega Mind or whatever villain there is. No, he's not going to win. Superman is going to win.
All right, so you're taking...
That's my one downside in all of this is I feel like the script by the NFL has already been written. We have to have Superman, and we have to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl.
Hey, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. I got on here. I'm naming all the names, obviously, as we go through and talk about the lineup. Devon, good morning. Lawrence, good morning. Dex, good morning. Howard, obviously. Brent, you're here with us. Brenda, good morning. Candy Spraggins, good morning. Love to have all of you on here every single day as we expand our
the below
show.
average white guy fan club is in the chat again.
It's going to grow even bigger. Brett's going to grow even bigger as we keep expanding this. And now that we've added a whole bunch of opportunities for memberships and joining the people come on, we're going to have a lot more PR and press coming our way as well. But listen, back to my point. When I watch Patrick Mahomes, I tell you yesterday and I tell you all the time, and a lot of people, I think they forget, he's got that Tom Brady mentality, that Tom Brady personality where it's like, I watch him, he can run a little bit, but then I'm like, is he really running that fast? Maybe not, but he just has a will to win. I don't think he's overly athletic and gifted. He's not Lamar Jackson, that's for sure. But when I watch his ability to lead his team, I kind of see that he does fall into the pocket a little bit. He goes, okay, I do have some talent. Pacheco, let me tell you something. Pacheco gets off in this game, it's going to be really easy for the Chiefs to move the ball. But to your defense, Brent, watching Lamar Jackson, watching his ability to scramble, he throws a great football. A lot of people are like, well, you know, they look at him like a Mike Vick, like you said. They look at him like a scrambling guy who just runs, and he does run. But he creates opportunities, get outside the pocket, hitting wide open targets. It's so hard to cover a receiver for that long because he's making them, scramble. He's creating opportunities, and that's what he does. Can he be sufficient to get outside the pocket and make plays with his legs against the Chiefs? And will that be the deciding factor is what I think a lot of people are thinking about. I don't think people are thinking Lamar Jackson's going to pick apart the defense throwing the ball. I don't think that's what people are thinking about in their head. I think they're just like, Lamar Jackson is a super talented guy who is the MVP, especially of the Baltimore Ravens. But if he gets slowed down at all, Chiefs take this game. But let's move on.
Let's move on to the other game. So are we doing this, Brandon? You got Chiefs, I got Ravens. Is that what we're saying?
Listen, I'm going to say this right now. I've always talked about Lamar Jackson all year. I was a Lamar Jackson fan all year. The guy's super athletic. I love watching him play. If I'm buying a ticket, these two players are the people to watch. But Lamar Jackson, look, if I had to put a jersey on, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, they're both great. I love his ability, Lamar Jackson. I just don't think the Ravens are going to be able to beat the Chiefs in the playoff football. Playoff football, not regular season. Andy Reid's coming to coach, and they're coming to town.
Better team than the Ravens. They're going to win.
See what happens. Let's talk about the next game matchup. We got Jared Goff.
Detroit, what? All right, baby.
Hey.
Raise your hands if you're from the 313.
It's great. It's great if you like multiple teams, Brent, because then you can like a team, and if they don't make it, hey.
Snoop Dogg loves that's why Snoop Dogg has it right. We talked about this the other day. He's the favorite fan of every team. So when his team gets eliminated, he just goes to this is the first time in my life when the Bills were eliminated that I had my backup team to go to. My backup team is available. This is great. Now I don't feel as bad about the loss. I got the Lions to cheer for. This is awesome.
Hey, I like the Lions. We're going to debate about this too. I like the Lions a lot. I like what they've done, and this has been a daily conversation, whether it's ESPN, whether it's FS1, doesn't matter where you're looking right now. The conversation is, how did the Lions get here? Dan Campbell, the coach, great guy, great coach, tons of excitement, tons of morale. The camaraderie is great. The Lions are here. They have talented receivers, talented running back. Jared Goff has stepped up into position and is playing very well. He's also a guy that I think kind of showed up, and it's like, well, they dial into him. They are now, but he wasn't really their guy. Like, on the other hand, Brock Purdy, who I really like as well. I'm taking the 49ers, and the reason why I'm taking the Niners is one of two reasons. I like, obviously, Brock Purdy. I like what the offense can do. If Deebo Samuel plays great, even better. Christian McCaffrey, a threat. That's the first thing. But the other thing, I love the defense the 49ers bring to the game. The defensive ends are very hard, to maintain. I think the defensive ends have a great game, and I think they beat the Lions. It's close at first. I think the second half, the 49ers make adjustments, and they pulled away. And I'm going roughly 34-14. It sounds crazy. I think they're close in the first half. 49ers pull away in the second half. Who you got, Brent?
Oh, Brandon.
I better think about it.
I mean, I look, these are heart picks today.
I know.
Brent is going straight heart picks. He can't stand the Chiefs.
I know.
And I love the Lions. So we got to go with the Lions, but I'm going to actually make some sense as to why I'm taking that pick as well. The Lions have been in a very effective team. They have been able to run the ball. They have been able to get the ball in the hands of playmakers like Amon St. Brown, right? Jared Goff has been able to distribute and manage the game effectively. The defense has been able to hold teams and come up with big plays and turnovers. They are the culture is such that they really are very focused on a team united goal, and they're playing very well together. Do they have Christian McCaffrey? Do they have a Deebo Samuel? No. Do they have, who's the guy on defense, the pass rusher that's really good? Not Watt. The other
Nick
one.
Bosa?
Bosa. Do they have a Bosa? No. Although they do have Aiden Hutchinson, which is kind of a stud. But generally
Cannot
speaking,
forget Hutchinson.
They're a very good team that plays very well together. And I think that we've seen in sports, basketball, football, whatever, that when these teams that play well together and they maximize their strengths in the areas that they can succeed in, that these teams have been successful and can beat these star teams, right? And so I think that's what we're going to see. I think the 49ers aren't quite as good as we think they might be. And they have not, I don't believe, did they play the Lions this year, Brandon? I don't believe they did.
No, but again, Chase Young and Nick Bosa for the 49ers defensive ends,
they're good.
very hard to stop. Very hard to stop. And I think
it's talent versus team.
it's
That's my
playoff
opinion.
football. Playoff football is what I'm saying is when I played and I watched up during the season, you win games. Good teams win games. Yeah. Come playoff season, we're talking bonuses. We're talking jobs on the line. We're talking a lot of trades. We're talking a lot of conversation. The 49ers.
We don't know. Look, we can argue there's teams and players that aren't really getting up for the playoffs. The Ravens, the Bills have struggled in the playoffs, right? The Chargers historically, right? We don't know about the Lions because they haven't been to the playoffs in 30 years. So they might be a team like the Chiefs, like the Patriots, that are just like winners in the playoffs. This might be the start of something new. We don't know.
Do they have any pressure? Who has more pressure right now?
The Lions have no pressure.
I
the
agree with you.
Lions are having fun. They're going to go out. The Niners are nervous, right? They're at home, and this is not a very big home field. It's a nice stadium. The weather is going to be great. The Lions are going to be fine. I'm telling you, the Lions are going to win this game. 87-5.
Yeah. So look, here's the thing. The pressure.
Wouldn't it be wild if that happened.
The pressure is on the 49ers, 100%. The pressure in the first matchup is kind of equal. Lamar Jackson, the MVP, quote unquote, the pressure's there. But the 49ers, I think they have all the pressure. The Lions have all the camaraderie, have all the fan base, and people are like, let's go Lions. Social media, Twitter, everybody's like, come on, Lions got to win this. Only the true Lions fans, the true 49ers fans are like, let's go Niners. The rest of the world is like you feel. It's like a heartthrob. We need the Lions to win. It's the first time since Barry Sanders that they could do anything. So I agree with you.
Right.
I'm not picking with my heart. If I was picking with my heart in this, I want the Lions to win. I think the 49ers pull it out. We'll move on to the Super Bowl, Brent, because Super Bowl, I believe, was a 58, is going to be very interesting with these quarterbacks coming into play. I would like, unfortunately, who I would like to be in the Super Bowl would be the matchup with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, or even if it was Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. But we are going to see the Lions or the 49ers in the Super Bowl. So my question to you, Brent, is why does everybody keep bringing up this whole, conspiracy theory of the trophy and the colors of the graphics? And when you pull it up, they're like, well, if I look at the graphics.
Oh, it's so stupid. That has nothing to do with it.
Listen, I don't
Wait,
know.
I saw a great meme that you're gonna like. It says the Super Bowl everybody wants, and it was Lions versus Ravens. The Super Bowl we are probably gonna get, and it was 49ers versus Ravens. And then it said the Super Bowl the NFL wants, or that the script says. The Super Bowl that the script says, Chiefs versus Lions. Chiefs versus Lions. That's what the script says. That's what we're gonna.
It's like, they did that, and it's like, but they're picking them. So, I get you. But you know what? It's interesting that people bring that up because there's always a conspiracy theorist. There's always something, going on that people have to make up something so people can be excited to talk about something. But I will tell you this: I wish I was watching Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. That would be interesting. But that's what we got. So let's move on to coaching. Brent, why do you think all of a sudden so many teams, and I know every year there's team coaches moving around. I'm not saying that they don't make transitions and some guy doesn't get fired, but wasn't it back in the day like, oh, you know what? You lost a couple games, you won some games. Hey, let's keep building. Let's keep building that relationship. Why do you think now all of a sudden, and I don't know if it's just money, if it's the fans or whatever, but why is it like all of a sudden you could feel like one little rumor pops out or one little tweet or something, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that coach is getting fired. It's like, do they have any kind of loyalty anymore, like literally in sports in this point? Or do you feel that that's out the door? Like it's win, get out, right? Like you're not going to be here long.
I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, what is the average churn? 7 coaches every year that get fired. What do we have this year? 7 or 8 vacancies, right? So we're right on normal schedule. This has been a little bit different because a few longtime coaches, have moved on, Belichick, Carroll, etc. Right? And so
but you're talking head coaches, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I'm saying when I watch just any media, it's like offense coordinator gone, defense coordinator gone, special teams coach gone, head coach gone, and it's like college coach transfers. Then guys are in the portal. This guy's leaving.
But that's the normal cycle, Brandon. People are there. It's a business and it's competitive, and they're always continuing to try to improve, or the coach wants to keep his job, so they got to make a change, whatever that change is, right? So they got to get a new offensive coordinator, they got to get a defensive coordinator, they got to do something different, right?
For someone to think that something happened, right? Something changed.
Maybe sometimes it's probably legitimate, like hey, this isn't working. Sometimes it might be they have to do it because they were told to. I don't know, but this is par for the course. I think that as you get farther up in the competitive level, there's more stability. We talked about this with like Michigan, right? And some of these programs.
Yeah.
They don't want to change coaches a lot because of the example that you gave yesterday, which was great, about your experience as a recruit and how the recruit, they build a relationship with the person recruiting them. You don't want that flipping all the time, right? So in college,
you
I
just
think
said
they try
was-
to keep some stability, but it's just life, man. It's just jobs. People switch corporate jobs all the time. They switch coaching jobs. They got to make changes. You know, I had a bad quarter, so I got to fire this guy to show that I'm doing something different, right? This is just kind of how things work. I don't think it's any different today than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll just see where it goes. But I think it's been more prominent this year because it's been more big names.
And when I hear these names,
Belichick, Harbaugh.
I agree with you. And these names that you're hearing are like, those programs had those coaches for a long time. Like Nick Saban, wow, they were so great. He was there for 17 years. When you go to the Patriots, you're like, Bill Belichick was there for a very long time. When you go to the Steelers, you know, their organization, you know, a lot of people love the Steelers. Tomlin was there for a long time. Like these major, you know, organizations and college coaches, you look at the organization and you go, wow, those coaches were there for a long time. And I get what you're saying. There are some changes, but Bill Belichick now was passed by several teams now. And so when I take a look at his history,
how many did he actually interview for? I think he only interviewed for the Falcons job, right?
He showed up, and I believe he had 1 or 2 interviews for the Falcons. But the thing is, the teams that basically passed on him would be the Falcons, right? The Chargers.
They did, yes.
The Cowboys, like people that had an opportunity if they wanted to get him. Like, you're like, I need a coach. Like, the Chargers need a coach. And they're like, Bill Belichick's available. Nope, Jim Harbaugh. The Cowboys could let Mike McCarthy go because all the heat, and you get Belichick. Nope, keep Mike McCarthy. The Falcons, we're going to go to right now, the Falcons need a coach. Instead of them going, getting Belichick, he interviewed for the job. He's right there. They go and they pick up Raheem Morris. Now, he came from within, obviously, and knows organization, you know, knows the coach, knows the other staff, knows the players, yada, yada, yada. Kind of like a Jared Mayo situation over with the Patriots. But Belichick has been passed on now several times. This isn't, you know, where it's like, oh, so is he, quote unquote, on the way out and no one's going to take him? Like, that's kind of where it's starting to go. But I do think, look, Bill Belichick is still obviously an excellent coach. He's getting older. He's not going to go rebuild and be someone for 10 years. But are you starting to think, Brent, that possibly Bill Belichick is kind of might not be coaching next season?
I don't think they want him. I think there's clearly something. We know Jerry called him, right? You and I both believe that.
Yeah.
Right. There's no doubt in our minds that Jerry called him. There was something that he said that turned Jerry off. Something
Are they too
something
much?
wasn't right.
Do you get friction when you think about Bill Belichick? Do you get like this headstrong power trip, or do you go?
My guess is he probably walked in and said, "I'm Bill Belichick. This is how it's going to go."
Oh, very interesting. I mean, I would love to see Bill Belichick coaching football, him not being there, people like Tom Brady not playing football. And when we see players.
But look. Like, he can do that. People do that. Like if I'm going to interview for a CIO job or a CEO job, I'm going to go and I'm going to say, look, this is how I run my organization, my department. This is what it's going to look like. I could tell you exactly how it's going to go, right? And then they decide if they want that or not, right?
Yeah.
I think with Bill Belichick, my guess is with some of these other guys like Raheem Morris, you know, they're probably not, they want the job, right? So you're a little bit more accommodating.
Yeah.
Right? You're a little bit more like, all right, let me hear what you got. All right, yeah, I can make that work, right?
I can come
like,
a little early.
A little bit more compromising. But like with me, if I'm going to, oh, geez, I hit my microphone. My hands are moving so much. Look at that. With me, I'm more like Bill Belichick. I'm a 4-time CIO CEO. Like, I'm not, like, I am who I am. I run my organization the way I run my organization. It's your choice if you want your organization ran that way, right? And so I tell them exactly what it's going to look like when they bring me in. And I did this obviously in the past, not now, but right? And then they make a decision if they want to hire me or not. I think it's the same thing with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick goes in with his 7 Super Bowl rings on and goes, look, bro, this is how I do it.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Lawrence,
what I heard about, what the rumors I've read about the Falcons are, Arthur Blank was like, yeah, this is who I want. And then he interviewed with the brass there, and they said, no way.
Wow. Well, Lawrence in the chat just said that he thinks it's a big mistake for people to pass on Belichick.
I agree.
Mistake.
I agree.
I agree, too. I mean, you're bringing a guy, and Lawrence, appreciate that, because the truth is you're bringing a guy that has so much experience. The only concern that I see is he would have to go to a team like the Cowboys who have some things in place, ready to go, couple changes, do the Bill Belichick way, and win a Super Bowl. When you look at it and go, let's take him to a team like the Chargers, that's more for Jim Harbaugh. A little younger, a little bit more, ready to go. I think Bill Belichick right now, there's some other things, like you said, going on behind the scenes that people aren't talking about, because all of a sudden.
I'm still shocked, but I'm with you, Brandon. I'm still shocked the Cowboys on paper just seem the perfect fit to me.
I love that.
The issue with the Cowboys, and I have a lot of visibility into the locker room, unfortunately, is the locker room. It is the culture, right? So they could use a Bill Belichick that comes in and says, we're going to clean all that up and we're going to do it the Belichick way, and this is how it's going to be. And on the flip side, and the Cowboys are the one organization where Arthur Blank is relying on Rich McKay and others within the organization, so they got to be happy with a Belichick decision too. In Dallas, there's only one guy. Jerry Jones is the only guy that has to care. There's one guy. That no one else matters. No one else matters. Jerry Jones matters. Right. So if Jerry Jones likes Bill Belichick, then it should be fine. That's why that seemed like the perfect scenario for me. Bill only has to talk to Jerry, just like he did with Robert Kraft. He's got a team with a messed up locker room culture, but it's talented. He can come in and say, play Belichick way. I thought it was perfect. I
I would have liked. I would have
Jerry
liked it.
Still fire McCarthy and hire Belichick.
Still to this day. But you
know
what
he's still
thinking, Brent?
like, it's not too late. If I run into him, maybe what I'll do is I'll go over to hologram Jerry at the Star. There's like an AI Jerry that you can talk to in the lobby. It's for real, and you can ask him questions.
Oh yeah, you were saying
Maybe I'll go. Maybe I should record that for the show. I'll go talk to AI Jerry and beg him to hire Bill Belichick.
Well, here's the thing. Before we finish this thing with this topic here, I think what you said was important. But the Falcons took Raheem Morris, and it's like they need to feel like they're getting something. The Falcons fans, like we just talked about in the offseason, are like, okay, let me get a new offensive coordinator. Let me get some players. Bill Belichick would have been the shake and stir that they need as a city. The Falcons have been awful.
Agreed.
So that would have shook it up a little bit, and they would have got an opportunity to
but
come in and
guess
go.
who Bill Belichick threatened? It's all about power. He threatened Rich McKay.
Didn't work out.
Rich McKay wants to hold power and control in Atlanta. So, it's the sign of every egotistical leader, right? You hire people that you can control, that are under you, that aren't going to be bigger than you, that aren't going to upstage you, right? Bill Belichick would upstage Rich McKay in Atlanta. He didn't want that. So he hired Raheem Morris. There you go. Done. LeBron again.
Well, I think you're spot on. Speaking of someone who's been around a long time, someone who's won a lot of games, someone that's very successful, popular guy, LeBron James, just hits, if you want to say, I guess, a record, or if you want to call it a, what would you say?
Milestone?
History? A milestone? Yeah, but makes history. 20th All-Star Game selection. Okay, when I watch LeBron James and watch him play and ball, he still looks like LeBron. He doesn't look like, oh, you've been here, got your all-star appearance for 20 years. LeBron looks like LeBron James. Now, I know, obviously, if you put an age to it and go, how long have you been playing? Here's your age. Like, okay, yeah, he's got only a couple years left maybe, and he's going to be done. But if you just watch him play basketball, LeBron James could play for a long time. And then, oh, well, his son come Bronny James. Will that happen? The end of the day, the remarks I have today for LeBron James is this. Watching him play, watching him ball in my years, because I saw a little bit of Michael Jordan as a younger kid, and then I saw all of LeBron James. So it's hard for me not to be a LeBron James fan. I'm also a Jordan fan. But the world will be very upset, Brent, when LeBron James has to leave the game. When he's gone, some players might be happy they get more showtime, but people watching basketball are going to be really hurt when LeBron James says, hey, farewell, I'm gone. I think that's going to be a very sensitive moment.
Yeah, it's going to be disappointing. I think we got a few years, though. I'm just hoping he continues to play forever. I mean, it's just fun to have him around.
You're hoping he goes to the Pistons with Bronny. You're thinking he's going to the Pistons.
Yeah, I like that. Detroit, baby. We can have the Lions. We can have the LeBron James Pistons. This would be awesome.
Well, look, LeBron made the All-Star team, but Stephen Curry got snubbed. Now, I get it. You have to do your results. You look at all your picks.
Oh.
How do you not take Steph Curry? I mean, you don't even have to watch the season.
It's not a lifetime achievement award, Brandon.
I mean, I know, but man, Steph Curry, like, you don't even have to go to the games. You're like, okay, let's pick our all-star lineup. Okay, Steph Curry, LeBron James. Like, it's really simple to do. But he got snubbed and they didn't pick him in the all-star game. So people, and then he mentioned something about the three-point shootout. So he's going to do something special for people. Obviously, it's going to be all about Steph Curry hitting the three ball and this and that.
Oh, good. He'll participate in that. That's good.
The Warriors have had a lot of problems this year with Draymond Green. Then the coach has a heart attack at team dinner. And now Steph Curry gets snubbed from the All-Star game. I mean, the Warriors have had, and then Klay Thompson did not take his extension. He was offered all that money. He goes, nah, pass on that. So all these things are leading to the Warriors possibly struggling in the future.
Can we get Steph Curry and LeBron and Bronny in Detroit? That would be pretty. That
would be amazing. That would be
That would be a good way to end
freaking watch, bro.
That would be, yeah. Steph Curry in the three-point contest is a great idea. Do you realize what Steph Curry has done to pop culture and to youth basketball and middle school basketball? Brandon, I cannot go a middle school basketball game without seeing at least one kid one time taking a ball where he's got a guy on him on the three-point line, taking 3 steps back and launching a shot that nobody should take. Because they all think they're Steph Curry.
Look, when I watch Steph Curry, Brent, and you're spot on with this, he's changed basketball. I mean, kids in the little league, like, I'm Steph Curry. When you're on the court playing street ball as a kid,
they're all going like this. They're holding their hands up. They're like,
I mean, come on.
They're running down the
Even
court.
the haircut.
It's like, first of all, you closed your eyes and threw that up, and it went in. It's like the first in 73 times that it's happened.
But like college basketball, high school basketball for sure. But even moving into college basketball, it's like, wow. These players are really practicing shooting from half court. Like, before the game starts, you do some layups, you shoot some foul shots, you shoot some threes, and then you have your Steph Curry who's shooting from half court 10 shots in a row. So people in college, like, you never know when you got to shoot a half court shot. So really
Brandon, I got a good off-topic one for you tomorrow. Tomorrow is my son's district basketball tournament. So it's the end of the season, right? This is it. They are the 8 seed and they're playing the 1 seed. The 1 seed has the number 1 ranked player in the country in the class of 2029. He's a 6'3" Indian kid by the name of VJ.
What?
He scores about 40 points a game. We're playing a box and 1, and my son is the 1. He has to guard this guy, run around and guard this guy on the court.
Hey, that's great. That's the best experience.
Great. He's a great defender, but he's 5'5", maybe.
Ouch.
Like the guy, it's like him trying to guard me, right? Like, I mean, he's a
5'5" or
great,
6'3".
he's like, the kid's like 6'2", maybe. And my son's like 5'4". He's the best defender on the team. So that's why they got him guarding him. But we'll see how this goes. He has had some success with him in the past, but he's just so, I mean, he just basically dribbles over him. Like,
You got to get some highlights of that game for Monday so we can show people how your son
if
found
he
out.
scores less than 15, I'm going to call it a great success.
Let's move on to the F1 race. Listen, people that are watching, if you like F1 or follow F1, the race is happening in Miami, and it's going to be spectacular as it comes up. And let me tell you something. You want to see what it looks like? Howard, pull it up. What's it look like? Miami puts a production together for you with fake water, and boats are sitting on the fake water all around the track, so you can watch all your prima donnas race. All these guys, a lot of them are like 5'0" sitting in a race car. And let me tell you something. I wasn't a big F1 fan, didn't really grow up watching racing. But when you hear the engines and you show up and watch this race, and Brent, you see who shows up?
Yeah,
Michael Jordan comes to the house, who I sat right next to. Tom Brady, Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle
sat next to Michael
Union
Jordan?
in the house. Check this out. Look, David Beckham, Celebrity Central, Serena Williams. I mean, look, it doesn't stop. The celebs are all day long. Ashton Kutcher. I mean, listen, Brent, if you've ever seen this, Pharrell, if you've ever seen what it looks like, Michael Strahan. I mean, listen, Brent, it's an event that you're like, first off, I don't know about you.
I love
didn't grow up watching
Brandon's
racing.
observation. I love you observing all these celebrities.
I was actually doing that, and I was never like a fan because I played sports. So you're like, oh, okay, you know. But when you go to an event, Brent, and you look to your left and you go, oh, that's Michael Jordan. And then you look to your right and you go, whoa, that's Ashton Kutcher. I got to tell all of you guys, when you go to an event like this and you see all your favorite, basketball player, football player, singer, artist, it doesn't matter who it is, what kind of genre you're talking about, it's pretty impressive, because you're like, I never even watched racing my whole life. Now I'm like, wow, I think I've been missing something my whole life, because the F1 race is exceptional. Make sure you take a look at it. If you haven't, Brent,
Yep.
Are you a big fan of racing?
I mean, I grew up, I went to middle school in Germany, so, that's pretty much all that was on television. They're big in that F1 stuff, right? And in that Michael Schumacher at the time and all that racing. So I've watched it a lot because that's all that was on. It's okay. I definitely think that I like the stuff where they're driving around more than just the circle stuff, but it's never really been my thing. But it's entertaining to watch sometimes.
Hey, Brent, before we get off today, you know what I want to say? What's special about you? I'm
incredibly good looking.
Listen, you're my below average white guy co-host. But let me tell you what's so special about you. I have every race in my body right now, right? Like white, black, Spanish. I'm from all over the world. My parents are from all over the world. I mean, my mom is actually mixed. She's got Italian in her. My dad, whether it's French, Italian, German, Dutch, all this stuff. And then my wife is Filipino and Scottish. My kids are mutts. And I love that about this whole thing. But when I talk to you, Brent, you lived in every one of those countries that my family's from. It's like, this dude lived everywhere. As soon as I asked you, I grew up here. I went to high school here. I was in Germany. I was in Manila. I was in Detroit. I live in Texas. It's like, Brent, that's so goddamn cool.
I've lived in India. I've lived in Asia. I've lived in Europe. I've lived all over. That's right. And I too have mutt children or mixed children as well. I was trying to figure this out the other day, Brandon. Maybe you can help me with this. You know how you fill out when the self-identifying questions, it says, are you Caucasian or whatever, right? I'm Asian. Right. For me, I click white, right? What do I click for my son? I've been clicking Asian because, but I don't know. It's like he's half white, half Asian. I figure he doesn't get any benefit white, so I click Asian. That's
The smartest?
That's what,
The best, you look at it, it's like, you look at it, you're like, white, black, and then it's like non-Hispanic. Like,
yeah, but there's no mix.
Yeah, no, other.
Oh, I don't know.
You gotta check a bunch.
I have been clicking Asian. I hope that's accurate. I hope they don't look when he shows up somewhere and it's like, wait a minute. Let's
Brent, it's so good to have you, brother, on the show. It's been a long week. The games are coming up. We have our predictions. Sorry, it's gonna be great to watch. I love having you. I appreciate your time. Every day you come on and give it to us as we expand our network. Thanks for having you on again today.
Take care, guys.
Guys, thanks for tuning into the Brandon Mason Show. We love to have you every single day. As you see the hit list there on the side, we just went through a whole bunch of stuff and give you all the predictions all the way from Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, 49ers, all the way down to even basketball in the F1 race. Remember to tune in every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11. We'll see you soon. Until next time.